All right, let's take a look now at how relations work with Drizzle, how we might define our relations, and how we can use them when we query our data. Let's start by reviewing our schema here. So db schema.ts, we've got posts, users, and categories. And these called into PG table to establish this table here with Drizzle. As it stands, there's nothing really that it's defined here to say that one table relates to another. We have author ID on the post table, which is going to link up to that users table to give us that relationship, but there's nothing that's explicit here in our schema that says one table is related to another. However, at this point, we can still pull together relationships when we query our data. So let's start by looking at that. If we go into drizzle.ts, we see we've got all posts, and that's going to give us just all of our posts using the relational query syntax that we get with Drizzle. So db query post find many, similar to Prisma, but it is a little different here. If we run it, we get our posts out. Instead of doing this right now, let's actually comment this out and let's use the kind of SQL operator syntax that we saw before. So const all posts equals await db.select now, and we're going to select from, and let's select from the post table. All right, so all posts should still be coming through. There's our posts. And what we can do now is we can join up our users table by the author ID. So that looks like this potentially. We can do an inner join, for example, and we can say we want to join our users table. Users comes in the same way from our schema that we get posts, just like that. And we can't just pass it like this. We have to give some extra definition and tell Drizzle how these things are related. So to do that, we can use the EQ function, EQ for equals, that comes from Drizzle ORM. And what we pass over to EQ is we want to say that posts.author ID, so that's a field on our post table, is going to link up to users.id. So we've got our relationship set up there. We're using inner join to get things tied together. Let's now take a look. npm run, and we get our users here. So the top level of the result is the post itself, and then we've got this relationship to users. As it stands, this field, it's called users because that's the name of the table that we're linking up to. So we get kind of the wrong name for this field. It should be author. We can change that up if we pass something over here to select to narrow down what is brought back. So for example, we could say we want ID, that's going to be post ID. We want the title, post title. And then perhaps what we want is to have our author. So this gives us the chance to give a custom name here. So author would be ID users ID. So let's get the ID from the users table, and then name users.name we can grab. All right, so let's try that now. And now when we run our query, we get our author key, which points to the author of the post. So this is the first way that we might think about querying where we have relations with Drizzle, but there is another way to do it where we can use the relational query syntax. To do that though, we have to set up some extra schema, and we'll do that next.